Hi, everybody. I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Jason.
And we are so glad you are here with us tonight.
And we are the Yahoo and the Torah channel. We thank you very much for joining us. And this is our fun that we are doing. We are going through the law, statutes, and commands of our Creator. And we are deciphering some of them. And some of them we are not changing them, because this list is a Judaism list. This list is a list that a guy in some university put out. And this list is like really wrong, and they have a lot of stuff. They didn't really read this, so wherever he got this from, they did not read it. So we are on 281. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
How's everything?
Good.
Did you run anyone over in your driving school thing?
Nope.
No, I backed up today. I learned how to parallel park.
It is amazing to me that they will just take you with zero experience and put you behind the wheel of a car. In the United States of America, I believe that people get sued if we went out and did something of that nature. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I was definitely nervous the very first day when they said get in the car and drive, and they're like, "What do you know?" I'm like, not much."
And there's other people that are...
we're talking to
Other people like that take classes later in the day when I get out and I'm waiting for him to arrive with his teacher. And this guy's like, they put you out on the road on the first day. Did they do that to you? So I thought I was going to learn how to do something first. I'm like, no, that's how they do it here.
I can't. I've always wondered about the drivers down here, and they are.
Makes sense.
There's certain rules of the road which in the United States of America are really nice. Like, for instance, if you are in the right-hand lane, that means you're going to go slower than the people in the left-hand lane, right? And in fact, it's illegal in the United States if you're going super slow in the left-hand lane. You're going to honk. People are going to knock you off. There's going to be an issue, right?
Yeah.
Here, that's not such a thing. They don't even know about that. It's not even a law. It's not a rule. They have two lanes, and the slowest dude doing 25 on a Sunday drive will sit there and cruise in the left-hand lane, and some dude on the right will be doing a bicycle on the far right and a little car that barely moves, and you'll be stuck behind them for miles on end.
And they pull out in front of you too.
They don't care. It's
I've seen it a few times.
Yeah, and you ride them, and we have a larger pickup truck. And usually that would make people sweat as you get a little closer to them. Here in this country, it's like it's a certain pace, right? It is a Tortuga pace.
Unless people are in a rush like we saw today and people did it head on.
Oh, yeah. So you got to see firsthand.
Right at the corner of our...
Right at the corner of the office, and we're like, oh, yeah, that's why you had driving class, folks.
Yeah.
You know, one guy didn't stop at his stop sign. The other
She was
turning.
turning. She had the right of way. And this guy just decides he's going to try and beat her to the other side of the road.
So you guys just sitting there waiting for your driving school.
Yeah,
and we're looking out the road and we see this person, these two just like run into each other.
Literally crashed right at the corner, right at the corner of the road, right next to the store.
She like hit him
Did they
right.
stop in the road?
Yeah, people are going around about, cause another 5-car pile up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and it's very interesting in this country as far as insurance goes, as far as when wrecks happen. A lot like the state, you kind of stay in the road until the officer gets there. But before you're all said and done, the insurance dude will usually be there and run the inspection. Either the opposite sides. Insurance is a lot different. Like down where we are, you can pick up insurance. I'm sorry we're going down this road, but you can pick up insurance for how much is it?
It's like $100. It's
$100 a year.
No more than 120.
Fully insured for everything is like $200.
Yeah, fully insured for whatever, but it's like nothing down here in the States. I mean, you completely go to school every single month. Having kids, having you guys drive in the States would cost me forever. You would have to get you on insurance. You can't drive around insurance, and if you drive around without insurance, then you will go to jail. And you lose your license, things of that nature. And so it's really easy to go to jail in the United States of America. All right, gentlemen, I am so sorry, everybody, that we went down that road, but that is how it is down here. Totally different. The world is way different down here. And so if that is what you would like to see, we just gave you a little vision of down south America. So this is 1613 laws of Yahuwah, and I think we've probably nailed it down to 580 because so many of these are duplicated, some of these are wrong, and we fixed the next one, so we'll see if we made it. Gentlemen, did we fix the ones in the back?
We have.
So
Eli would task you. Oh.
Yes, they're fixed, but not fixed. Because guy put.
This is what I get. I hear this stuff a lot. Go on.
It was not a command, so we put that they were not commands in there because there was no commandment. It was basically saying.
Are you talking about yesterday's?
Yeah, you explain.
Yeah. It was the beginning of one says
265, right?
Something like that.
Did you?
No, it's up.
We're getting off. All right. Anyway, so the boys have tasks to do, and we
It's
hope they do
fixed. It's like fixed because it was not a command, so we fixed it to the best of our abilities.
It's not fixed.
Okay, you guys telling the truth here. At least one of us is going to make the Shemaim. The kingdom of the covenant
was
is not
fixed.
for us.
It still says
You guys
read
not
the
click
next
save?
two.
You guys didn't
It's
click
the
save.
save button, huh? I've heard that one.
You two are
living in
fixing it.
IT
What
all my
happened?
life. Nobody ever clicks save. All right, here we go. 281. Not to work the land during the 7th year. Didn't we do this one yesterday? Leviticus 25, 4.
Yeah,
Yeah, we repeat a whole bunch
Repeating.
more.
All right, let's do it again. Not to work land during the 7th year. Let's run. Who has it?
But in the 7th year, the land is to have a Shabbat of rest, a Shabbat to Yahuwah. Do not sow your field and do not prune your vineyard.
Okay, so we talked about that yesterday. 7th year is what? What do we call 7th year?
Jubilee.
It's a Jubilee, and every 49 years and going into 50 is what? It's a 50-year Jubilee.
Yeah, it's a bigger Jubilee.
It's much better. So when do we forgive debts?
Every 7 years.
Every 7 years. Okay.
We'll actually learn that tonight, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, here we go. 282. Not to harvest wild crops in the 7th year. Leviticus 25, 5.
Do not reap what grows of its own of your harvest, and do not gather the grapes of your unpruned vine, for it is a year of rest for the land.
Okay, and that takes us to 283 here, which is not to systematically pick fruit in the 7th year. So whatever comes up on the land is basically for the birds.
Birds, land, just to have
People.
It'd probably be people, the poor people would
Yeah,
probably still
I
be
mean,
able
it
to
says
get
you can't like pick it. I mean, like for like take it in for like food, but I mean, if you're passing by, you probably grab one off and eat or something like that.
So if it's a Jubilee year, would you, if you're homeless and you're starving to death, would you be able to pick that?
yeah,
That's what it's meant for.
The 7th year?
Yeah.
It's more for rest. Because you're
But
not,
I mean,
it
if
says
they're-
you're not to harvest wild crops in the 7th year. So if you're not to harvest wild crops, whatever comes up would be considered wild crops. So if you were homeless, would you be breaking the? You'd probably be breaking the
I don't
Torah.
know,
by
because
doing
they
this.
would have nothing to eat because the poor and the widow, the fatherless, and that they have nothing to eat if they weren't allowed to eat from the corners of the field.
Yeah. So the Yah would probably let them have that. So anyway, just things to think about. All right, 284. To leave untouched all produce that grew in the 7th year. Exodus 23:11.
But the 7th year you shall let it rest and lie still, that the poor of your people may eat. And what they leave the beasts of the field shall eat. In like manner you shall deal with your vineyard and with your olive yard.
Dun dun. And the answer came right after that. So that's it.
For the poor people and
yeah,
the wild beasts.
For the poor people, have a good year. Wow, poor people every 7 years is like celebration. All right, 285. To relax all loans in the 7th year. Deuteronomy 15:3.
All right, so I'm going to start in verse 1. At the end of every 7 years, you make a release of debts. And this is the word of release. Every creditor is to release what he has loaned. To his neighbor, he does not require it of his neighbor or his brother, because it is called release of Yahuwah. Of a foreigner, you could require it, but your hand is to release whatever is owned by your brother.
All right, the word is actually debt.
Yeah, I didn't even say it. I know.
Okay, so here we go. 285. To relax all loans in the 7th year. 286. Not to pressure the debtor in the 7th year. Not to okay, that's the next one. Okay, so what are we dealing with here? What's the gig? If during the first 5 years I went to you and I got a loan, what happens?
You can't pay it back. I can't charge you for 7th year. 7th year, I guess it goes away.
It goes
I guess
away.
I'd lose some money.
You owe me
You
thousands
lose
of dollars
you
and-
lose money. But what happens to land as well?
It's returned.
It gets returned to its owner.
It's returned. And how is it not? Do you guys remember how it is when it's not returned to the owner? There's one way that you can actually end up with it, I believe, but it's
Like put up for like a what is it called? A redemption, not a redemption, but a what's that word? They used to redeem.
it's when they didn't come back after the year because they had a full year to come back to their house and get it if they wanted to, and then after the full year, then it was over.
Yeah, they bought it back for like the price of it or something.
Yeah, I don't remember, but that's what it is. Okay, not to reach it. Okay,
59.
15:9. Not to refrain from lending in the year of remission for fear of monetary loss. All right, Deuteronomy 15:9.
Be on your guard, lest there be a thought of Belial in your heart, saying, the 7th year, in the year of lease, is near, and your eye is evil against your poor brother, and give him not, and he shall cry to Yahuwah against you, and it shall be a sin in you.
That is totally a test of man's heart right there. Because as you get closer and closer to that 7th year, when you're just about to lose that money.
Yeah, I think you don't want to give much away.
Yeah, who's coming to
Only
your
what
door?
can be paid
How
back.
much do you need? What can you pay me back per month? And if you can't, you're going to be all over that. And everybody's going to know that 7th year, if you're living in this, all debts are released. Now, what kind of society, tell me about what society would be like with all debts released like that.
It would,
Angry, very mad.
I don't.
Why
think
would it be?
Like society of today?
No, it has. Okay, society of today, everybody has credit cards. They're maxed to the gills.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wouldn't be broke and trying to pay back everything because they're going to send interest with.
In the perfect world, you would have credit cards, and every 7 years, that credit card would be released.
Right.
The coolest thing ever.
Yeah, well, it would be. What kind of society would that build?
I think more of a trustworthy one.
I think more of an equal playing field, because here's what the problem is when you get stuck in debt, you just don't get out. It's like it's a hole, and these banksters and their interest rates, they just bury you. And that's the name of the banksters. You know, they wouldn't be banksters if they weren't out there ripping you off. All right, so here we go. So anyway, you're supposed to loan people. Even in year 5, 6, people are supposed to lend money if you need money. That's the way it is. 288, count and determine the year of the Jubilee. Leviticus 25:8.
Says, and you shall count 7 Shabbath of years for yourself, 7 times 7 years. And the time of the 7th Shabbath of years shall be to you 49 years.
Right, and so the 50th year is a Jubilee. The entire year is a Jubilee year. All right, 289, sanctify the 5th year. What is this? Leviticus 25:10.
50th.
50th.
Oh, 50th. Man, I can't even. I'm getting too old here. All right. Sanctify the 50th year. That makes sense because that's the 50th year.
Yeah,
Leviticus
And you
25.
shall kadosh the 50th year, and proclaim release throughout the land, and all its inhabitants is a Yobel for you, and each of you shall return to his possession, and each return to his clan.
Right. And so I saw that, and I figured this dude had that one jacked up because I'd never heard of anything. 15th year. 50th. Okay, 290. To sound the ram's horn on Yom Kippur of the Jubilee year. Leviticus 25:9.
Alright, it says, you shall then sound a ram's horn, and to pass through on the 10th day of the 7th month, on Yom HaKippurim, and cause a ram's horn to pass all through your land.
Okay, and so what is a ram's horn exactly?
It's like a shofar.
It's a horn of a
called
ram
shofar.
that comes off, and they drill into it, and they make a horn that makes a really loud sound.
Yeah, and so you can actually have these horns like tuned to like the tune of C or D or E or whatever. It just depends on who you get to build the ram's horn, but there's pretty technical things. Okay, so not to work the land during the 50th year, Leviticus 25:11, and also it's 292. Not to reap or harvest in the 50th year, and also it's 293. Not to pick grapes in the usual way, and to eat only directly from the vine in the 50th year. Okay, take us away.
It says, in the 50th year is a Yobel to you. Do not sow, nor reap what grows of its own, nor gather from its unpruned vine.
That was it?
That's it.
Wow.
Well, they took 2 commands and made
Well,
They
yeah,
made a lot
okay.
of commands.
So you're not supposed to work the land. We got that. Not to reap
or
harvest, right?
Not to pick the grapes.
But it doesn't say not to pick grapes in the usual way.
I
It
mean,
doesn't say
it
anything about
wouldn't be pruned grapes. They shouldn't pick them from pruned, but it's...
Yeah, it should just be not to pick grapes in the 50th year.
well, unless you're homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, not to pick grapes in the
Homeless
50th
poor.
year. Okay, so Eli, you'll get that fixed for us, little buddy. Okay, 294. Follow the laws of sold and family properties. That's what we were talking about. Leviticus 25:24, and then actually do 23 because that is not to sell land in Yisrael in perpetually.
And the land is not to be sold beyond reclaim, for the land is mine, for you are sojourners and settlers with me. And provide for redemption for the land in all your land of all of your possessions.
Yeah, you couldn't really sell the land. I mean, you had to
Return it.
Yeah, you had to return it. It is Yah's land, so that was absolutely Yisrael. Okay, 296 to follow the laws pertaining to houses in walled cities. Leviticus 25:29.
And when a man sells a house in a walled city, then his right of redemption shall be at the end of the year after it's sold. His right of redemption lasts a year. So he basically can buy it back after a
In
year.
the walled city. So this is how cities work. So if you have buyer's remorse or seller's remorse, you basically, I wouldn't even live in that stupid house for a year until after that dude figured out if you really wanted to get rid of it or not, or you like kept tabs on the guy, because if the guy wanted to come back, you should have spruced it up. I mean, you might get smoked as far as like upgrades. And
Might be
things of
like
that
in the
nature.
middle of fixing, be like, hey, I want it now. You'd be like, no.
Yeah, adding like some more rock walls or something. Okay, here we go to 297. The Levites have no inheritance or allotment, but will live in cities. Deuteronomy 18:2.
All right.
And 18:1. Levites will not partake in the spoils of war. 298.
All right. The Kohanim, the Levites, all the tribe of Levi, have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They are to eat offerings of Yahuwah made by fire and his inheritance. But among his brothers, no inheritance. Yahuwah is his inheritance, as he has spoken to him.
Does it say that partake in spoils of war? Did I miss something?
No, I didn't say the spoils of war.
So it doesn't say that anymore?
Nope.
18:1 2. Eli.
Caden did,
This is Caden going on
Caden
the
did
bus?
280 through 300.
Bus ride.
I did,
Beep, beep.
I did 310.
Okay, you went on the bus, cuz.
Yeah.
Maybe you can fix that? Eli, will you please fix that?
Yeah, just say how spoils of war.
What
Yes.
do I
The
Partake
Levites
in-
will not partake
In the inheritance. In an inheritance.
in the inheritance. They probably can't partake in the spoils of war either, I would imagine. But I think they're...
No, it's supposed to be like donated because remember how Abraham donated the priest back in the day.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it. They have to like donate whatever some part
All
of
right,
what they find.
so we'll fix that one, and hopefully we'll find the other one. 299. Levites are to be given cities and the surrounding fields. Numbers 35:2.
command the children of Yasharel that they give unto the Levites of the inheritance of their possessions cities to dwell in. And ye shall also give unto the Levites suburbs for the cities round about them.
Okay, and so why again do Levites get cities?
Because they have no inheritance.
Because they have no inheritance. They'd be a part of tribe of Judah. They'd be in land of Judah or
Yeah, but all these
Issachar.
little cities are given like places to live for the Levites. Why do you suppose that is?
Because they don't have an inheritance. They don't have land. They can't get land.
Nah, that's not it.
Because they need priests in like
Oh,
everywhere.
they-
Yeah, they
priests.
need priests everywhere.
Or
So these
probably
priests-
also the cities of safety as well.
Yeah, I mean, the priests are the guys who know the Torah. They're the guys who know the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator, and they're the ones who help the people. They judge the people and do a bunch of other stuff. So that is why. Okay, so where are we at, gentlemen? Not
We just finished Numbers 35, so we're on this one.
300. Not to sail the fields of the Levites. Leviticus 25:34.
But the field of the open land of their cities is not sold, for it is their everlasting possession.
Okay, so anyway, they have some fields. The Levites get some
It's
fields.
theirs, and you can't, once it's theirs, you can't sell it.
Yep.
There's like basically nothing on it. It's theirs forever.
But they do get land.
Yeah.
So
There's probably Levite farmers.
Probably get a plant and stuff.
maybe that's where they're, I don't know, maybe they're oxen or like the sheep they're going to kill are
Yeah.
grazed.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, maybe they didn't like.
That'd be too many though. There'd
Did
be
they
way-
kill like? Because I mean, there's a lot of people in Israel. I mean, did they really kill all those every single day, or did they like just kill a couple?
I mean, there's multiple priests.
There's multiple priests, multiple places, and so I mean, if you're traveling a long way with your sacrifice, I mean, you're not going to want to get turned away. So I mean, you got to go. They got to go somewhere. So I would imagine. I mean, that's just a lot of blood.
Yeah, it's a
It's
lot
a
of
lot
work.
of a lot of work. Who's going to get? You know, it's just.
I
a
mean, they have
tremendous-
to go probably quite a bit into the night cleaning it up, right?
Cows and bulls and oxen and things like that are large animals.
It's like a 15-hour job.
Sharp knives.
The easiest thing would have been a lamb. They're small. Then you don't have to weigh a
I
lot.
think they use turtle doves.
Or turtle doves if you're broke. If you're totally
Pigeons,
broke.
man.
Pigeons and turtle doves. Okay. All right. Here we go. To build a sanctuary. Exodus 25:8. And that would be Jaden. Who's
Yeah, give it
working
20.
through it.
I was 25:8.
Yeah.
And they shall make me a mikdash, and I shall dwell in their midst.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be cool if y'all was like hang out with us. People would be like way different than they were now if they had y'all. 302. Not to build the altar with stones hewn by metal. Exodus 20:25.
And if you make me an altar of stone, do not build it of cut stone, for if you use your chisel on it, you have profaned it.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. So, gentlemen, we use a pry bar almost daily, probably, or at least somewhat close to daily. At least one of us is using a pry bar at some point during the day. If we used a pry bar and we got the rocks out, could we build an altar with this?
I don't
No.
think so. I think it's metal. Since it touches metal, I think there's like something about him wanting like pure stone, like nothing.
This is talking about chiseled
chiseled, right?
stone.
But in
which
another
would be-
version, it said don't let.
made
You guys'
metal.
version, it said don't
Yeah.
like your metal tool or something. Like
Yeah, so Yah does not want. So if we went and build an altar, then we'd go and you'd have to go find our own rocks,
that. Right.
pull them out by hand.
But how do we know if they touch metal? They could touch metal before or something.
I don't think so. You're like not in the middle of where we're at, the jungle
Yeah.
and stuff. There's like no roads. But for others out there, if you ever decide to build an altar to Yah, you don't want it with this metal touched stones. Okay, 303. Not to climb steps to the altar. What is this? Exodus
All right.
20:26.
Nor do you go up to the steps by my altar, lest your nakedness be exposed on it.
Oh, easy enough.
Okay.
Okay, Leviticus 19:30 to show reverence for the temple and the Shabbats, the Sabbaths. 304.
Says, guard my Shabbat and reverence my Mikdash. I am Yahuwah.
Okay, so it says right there, guard my Shabbat. What does that mean, folks?
Keep the Shabbat. I mean, you gotta.
What is the Shabbat for everybody?
It's a rest day. It's a Sabbath day, which you would take.
It's the seventh day. They call it the Sabbath day. We don't have any other name for a Shabbat other than seventh day, and it's a holy day. And tomorrow is what, gentlemen?
Preparation day. It's the day before Shabbat where we prepare our food.
It is a sixth day, and Leonidas, Leo or Pitbull says hi. It is a sixth day, and so by the end of tomorrow, when sunset hits, what happens around here?
It becomes Shabbat, the seventh day.
What do we do? What does your mother do most of the day? What does our sixth day look like usually?
It's usually preparation day, getting all the cows cleaned up.
We try to keep the cows close to home. We don't let things go. We have to, when sunset comes, it's game over, right?
Right, no more work can be done. We gotta have everything ready before sunset hits.
Including food.
Food.
Right? And so what does your mom usually make for breakfast for us, Eli, to where she doesn't have to cook on Shabbat?
Sometimes she makes overnight oatmeal. Sometimes she makes muffins that she sticks in a container. She's made eggs.
And they live in crock pots, and so you click crock pot on prior to when you're ready to have them cooked, right? And you can usually put them on warm. Depending on the crock pot meal, you can stick it on warm. Here, where we're off grid, we don't have a lot of luxuries like that. We don't have like a tremendous amount of power. And so crock pots are enormous amounts of power. And so if you guys ever go off grid, just know that crock pots are crazy. But for you guys who are in the States or wherever you are that you guys can just plug this stuff in, you could have like an endless crock pot meals. You could have all sorts of crock pot meals, and they're super easy to make. You just throw them into a crock pot prior to Shabbat, and then you stick the lid on, stick it on warm, and you have hot meals all day on the seventh day. So, and it's a day of rest. It's a day we're supposed to be with our families and doing the will of our Creator. All right, let's move on. 305. Levites shall guard the temple area, Numbers 18:3.
So Yahuwah is talking to Aaron here. He says, "And they shall guard your watch and the watch of all of the tabernacle. Only they shall not come nigh the vest of the sanctuary and the altar, that neither they nor ye also die."
Okay, hit 18:3 or 18:5 as well.
"And ye shall guard the watch of the sanctuary, the watch of the altar, that there be no wrath any more upon the children of Yasharel."
Okay, so does that say not to leave the temple?
It says to watch it. It says to watch it.
Watch
Ye
it.
shall guard the watch of the sanctuary.
Okay, so we have one. Basically, it's about guardianship.
I don't think I want anybody that's like
I assume some
unclean.
thrill seekers wants to jump in
Yeah.
at one point.
So they have their own ADT guys that are sitting there like patrolling.
Name, ID.
Yeah, who are
out.
you? Yeah, get out of here.
Tribe.
Are you cling or uncling? Out. All right, here we
That's how
go.
it gets through you.
Any metal on you, sir?
Anointing oil, 307. Not really a command, Jaden has in here.
Yes.
Exodus 30:31. Tell us about this. What is this?
All right.
Then they had a ton of these in here that were not commands and things.
Says, "And speak to the children of Israel. This is Kadesh anointing oil to me throughout your generations."
What is it? What is the Kadesh anointing
It
oil?
was for the altars. We're talking about the altars.
Does it tell what kind it is?
Let's see. Temple appointment. Understand. It says there's the altar of incense. Then we have. It doesn't say exactly what it is.
In some of the, what book was it where they actually gave us a recipe? Was it Jasher or Jubilees?
I think it had to be Jubilees. I haven't read a lot of that.
Yeah,
Actually.
there's an actual recipe for some of this stuff. And
I remember one you could not make or something.
Yeah, we're
You,
not
like,
supposed to
died.
be messing
Actually,
with.
we'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Get the formula right here.
There we go. So 309. I just tripped this thing out.
308.
308. Not to duplicate the formula. Oh, for the anointing oil. That's what we're talking about. So here they go.
do it.
And
Don't
then
do it.
309. Not to anoint anyone who isn't a priest. So Exodus 30:32. Who has that?
It shall be poured on the flesh of a man. It shall not be poured on the flesh of a man, and make no other like it, according to its composition. It is Kadesh. It is Kadesh to you.
Okay. You guys would remember what this stuff was? Where was it used?
It was used for kings and priests.
Okay, and was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they done on David's
It
head.
says not to anoint anyone who isn't a priest. Okay.
Right. But I think that's because Samuel wasn't. Who was the priest, right? Samuel.
Samuel was a
Prophet.
prophet.
Yeah. Okay. But he was dumping stuff on
He
David's head.
was on David.
I'm pretty sure that
I think
was-
he anointed Saul as well originally.
Saul. Yeah, he was the one who chose Saul, and then he had to go find David.
Yeah.
Okay, oh, Saul's gone.
New king in town. Okay, where are we at? 310? 311. Not to burn anything on the altar besides incense. Oh, is that it?
Yeah, shout out
Oh,
to
we're
him.
done. Oh, okay, man, I was just running. We could do an all-nighter on this, guys. I'll brew up some coffee and you guys get nothing.
Yeah, just driving across the morning.
Thanks, man.
Hey, no problem. You're youth. That's why you have
I'll
youth.
broke the coffee. You guys get nothing.
Youth can get through anything. All right. What do we got? 310?
Yes.
Oh, not to replicate the incense formula. Jade said fish. Exodus 30:37.
And the incense which you make, do not make for any of yourselves, according to his composition. It is Kadesh to you for Yahuwah.
Isn't it? What? Why? Why is this? Why?
I think it was going to be for the priest to put on the altar or like some anointing something.
It was like something good, like the fallen didn't like give us. Finally, we got something like some good info.
Yeah.
Like, if you make this, you're probably gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah, and if you give the recipe out, the fallen's going to tell you too.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, that is it. Tomorrow is again a preparation day for everybody out there, which, by sunset, hopefully you guys are keeping the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator, and it begins with Shabbat, and it begins with keeping, the ways that our Creator wants us to live, and that includes dietary laws, that includes everything else. So I know we harp on this a lot, but it is very important to our Creator because He says it from Genesis to Revelation. I don't know how many times. Anyone take a guess? Keep my laws. How many times, boys? Take a guess.
At least 100.
1,100?
Way
1,100 or something like that?
I would say at least
It's at least 500 times.
At least 500 times, I would imagine. I mean, all the way through Revelations. And actually, it's more than that. I mean, I was just reading 1 Peter, and it's all about the will of God.
And if it says this so many times, we want to keep it, right? It's obviously trying to get a point across.
Yeah, and not one jot or tittle of the Torah will be gone until when?
The earth and heaven pass away.
Heaven and earth pass away, and I'm still like walking on.
I'm still here.
Yeah, there's still rocks out there that we use pry bars for and horrible stuff of that nature. So, okay, guys, thank you guys very much, and thank you to everybody out there who made it to the very end of this, and much love, and we are out.
Shalom.
Bye. Bye, kid.
Bye-bye.